なんか配信始まってないんだけど。もうちょいやりますかなこれ。
Figures button gone.
やべ、全然始まらん。あ、始まった。なんかすっげえ動きリアルっていうか。やば、なにこれ。なんだこれ。最初、どうやって動くのこれ。あ、そうだ。ほうほうほう、そういうこと。
Holmes, will you stop that?
そういうことね。
You are utterly mad. Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson,
don't know.
quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate. Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
こいつがホー
You're
ムズ
out
ね。
of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were
Make up scene,
blindfolded, that was
Make up
very
scene.
good. Can I have a try?
しょっぱなやべえよ
Am
な、
I
そ
the
れ最
only
初最
sane
初
one
のと。
here?
そう、何や
I
るのか分
suppose
かんなかっ
that
た。
Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be
あ、これホー
preferable
ムズ
now.
もっとイケメン
Do
かと思って
please
たよ、
tell
ホー
us
ムズ。
more about Black Peter.
結構年配
Peter
だからね。
Carey,
まあね。
born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he
Joe
achieved
Panzana
much
has
success in
highlighted
seal and whale hunting around
だから2なの
Scandinavia.
か。
Retired in 1884
いや
with a
俺が
small
入る前に
fortune.
だよ俺。
He invested his
嘘
money
でし
in
ょ
a property called
多分
Woodman's Lee,
俺今開いたもん。
near Forest Row
そうなの
in
今日なんなら読み
Sussex.
込み中だし。
It was where he lived for 6 years and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has
What
the
is that?
investigation already begun?
Yes and
物
no.
好きな人がいる
In。fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
全然読
Give
み込
me
まない。
half an hour
Ah,
to
so that's-
prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there.
重いよね、多分。
I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
1個目
What
の
have
事
they
件が
done
始
this
まりそう
time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at
楽しみだわ。
Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
まあ面白い。
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments
Ah,
that I must
so you
keep
know.
this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
どこあるんだろうな、この人たち。
ハント高っ。びっくりしたんだけど。
関係ねえか。
感度高すぎてやばい。タブを押して事件簿を開くと、現時点の操作や進展状況を確認することができる。なるほど。そうだね。 オッケー。やばい、感度高すぎてやばい。やばい、感度高すぎてやばい。
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
感度高すぎてやばい。どうしたらいいこれ。これどうやってさ、見んのこれ。化粧台使うとかあるんだけど。もうなんか、メガネとかあるんだけど。よし、こうしよう。あ、そうなの。変装したのに使えませんって言われた。
My archive. I can.
やばい、感度高すぎてやばい。
You go along to Peter
Mia
Carey's
Carey
house.
の家に
Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
ありがてえ。ありがてえ、ありがてえ。違った、これワトソンの部屋だった。行くぜ。木こりのリーに行っていいのかなこれ。感度高すぎてやばないこれ。
感度高かろうがなんてことはない作品じゃん。
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come
あ、
on.
あれでやろう。石ワンビリやろうかな。ちょっと石ワンビリやろう。
なんで
いや、そっちだったら感度変えれるからさ。
あね。
よいしょ。
わ、敵これダイヤじゃん、こいつ。通りで。
よいしょ。オッケー。あ、でもこれもちょっと早いね。
通りでダイヤだから強いん
こんに
か。
ちは、こんにちは。
It seems that the garden was well
部屋の
maintained.
手入れが行き届いているな。
あ、出た。これね。
Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes?
いや、話しとるやんけ。
Mr. Holmes? It seems that the garden was well maintained.
やり方がわからん。Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes?
まあ、まずはいろんな人に話しかけてみたらいいと思うよ。
そうだね。
Mr. Holmes?
話すってさ、
Mr. Holmes?
クリックでしょこれ。
クリックで話す。
Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes?
あそこに呼んだ人とまず話してみる。
ミスターホームズしか言われないんだけど。
いや、そこに呼んだ警部の人にいるんじゃないどこかに。
Inspector Lestrade,
警
when
官
you
じゃなくて
remove my
偉い
husband's
人。
body, it's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can.
この辺は
Mrs.
所詮
Carey,
平社
I
員だから
assure
さ。
you. Allow me to
あ、そういうことね。
introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
平社員じゃなくて、偉い人探
No
して。
doubt you've heard of him.
おお。
I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences,
Okay, Maru.
Mrs. Carey.
モデレーターいる。
Thank you, Mr.
奥
Holmes.
さんこんばんは。
モデレータ
お、マミさんこんばんは。配信多いですね。まあ確かに。なんかこれはやってみたかったんでね。ガムさんもモデレーターにしてあげようか。あ、待ってよ、これ、話聞いてなかった。やべやべやべ。
ー。あちゃー。
まあね、匂わし
The
てあげ
garden
る
is very
Acha.
large and well maintained.
何
Do you employ
Acha.
someone? to
ダメだ
look
とこ
after
れ。
It is true.
え、何
There's a lot of
え、
work,
これ
but
見て
my
んのこれ。
husband took care of it himself.
ガムさん。
いや
どういう、
配信は見てるけど、今ちょっともうね、
あ、じゃあそっちの話ね。
Madam, can you
なん
tell
か、
me if you
ショ
saw
ートゲームみたいな。
SV5 は
anything
どうしようもない
unusual
や
on the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the
Supervised?
morning,
Got
I
bright.
heard a terrible
リスキル
scream.
で3枚狩られたんで
I
すが、
thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
待って。これ全部聞
Do
けん
you
の
remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock.
小屋の扉が
I
開いてる
noticed the cabin door was
部屋に
open,
入れられるの
but I
って言い
didn't
ました
go
よね
in to
言ってな
take
か
a
った
look, for I knew my husband. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to
10
glance
時
in
45
through the
です
door
なる
and
ほどね
oh dear.
Holy shit fucking って感じとりあえず聞くか
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually, whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
でこれ最後かな
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here
夏
after his
月
retirement.
が始まりそうで怖いそれでいいのえなにこれなにこれ元数進む終了するって何これガムさん
ちょっと待って。いや俺は挟まれてる。それは押してみればいいじゃん。
いろいろ押してるけど
いや、戻る進むとか。
いやだからいろいろ押してるよねカメラ何これ押せるじゃん
それで人物の特徴がつかめるということですね。人となりとか。
冠がああそういうことかカトリックのロザリオ何これ
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey.
コメント読んでる
Nevertheless,
よ
I believe it will be less of a burden for you
F8 を
soon.
F8 をして読んでるから
Yes.
実は
Life with Peter was never
聞
easy,
こえてるよね
but he was still my
俺は聞
husband.
あいうえ
こえてない。
お聞こえますか
He
聞こえ
was
ますか
different, wasn't he? When you
俺は
first
聞こえてる
met him upon your
ランクしてるから
return from
あ
Plymouth.
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
あどうしようでもそのことちょっと待って何これ
Never mind.
待てどうい
You
うこと
have indeed suffered a great loss,
どういうこと
Mrs.
ど
Carey.
ういうことど
Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
ういうこと
Yes,
何 Q
life
押す
with
タイミン
Peter
グ
was
が
never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him
あ
upon
あ、もう
your
いいと
return
か言われ
from
てく
Plymouth?
さ。
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
いやわかんないんだってこれできる証拠プリマスって何
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand.
全然
The
話入ってこない
shortest
でよ
route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth.
全然話入ってこな
I
い
believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Thank you, madam.
なんか言ったぞレディスケールむずいなこれこいつ殺されたのね全然聞いてなかったからさなんかまだタブ待ってるこれか違うよし行こうじゃないかどこに行くのかわからないけどここないな東海オンエア見ていきます。いってらっしゃいませ。今日のやつもなかなか面白かったですよ。ただ見てたら痛くなりますわ、あの動画。
壊れないかも。
待って、これ通れん。感度めちゃんこ高いんだけど。俺洗濯物とか見れんのかな、これ。はい、見れませんでした。何するんだろう、こっから。こっから何するんだろう。
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
これでもワトソン君に話すの。
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin.
中入れないのこれ。あ、入れたわ。
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
友達のお父さんっぽい顔してる。
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
T。
These scratches are fresh.
うん。
You're right. Someone tried to
誰かが
force
扉を
open
こじ
the
開けよ
door.
うとしたようだ。
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
お、シャーロック・ホームズの特殊技能を使うところにいま
He's
した
not
ね
the。man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did
Another
not
toxic
have the
law.
right tool.
細部まで詳しく調べることができるやつ。んで、死体はどこにあるのかなと。うおー、グロ。
What a terrible way to die.
グロテスクじゃん。
Harpoons for
Ah,
hunting
stay.
whale.
あ、ちょっと。YouTube 大丈夫これ。
俺は音は知らん。
Peter Carey's boot.
いや、じゃあ音じゃなくてさ、普通に。
Old navigation instruments. Nothing interesting. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey. The tooth of a sperm whale. Probably from...
なるほどね。なお T。怪しげな空間。埃の中の輪郭。
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book.
あ
A box or a small
あ、
chest.
そういう機能があるのね。なるほど。ってことは、ここもワンチャン、こういうの使ったら、ここはなんもなさそうだね。そろそろ死体でも見ますか。あ、違う、ちょっと
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded.
さ、ピーター・ケリー死んでるから見るか。
The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was
グ
immense.
ルデンスやん。ん？なんもないね、これ。なんもねえな。机でもいいか。
Someone drank from this glass
こ
recently.
れ酒飲んでたみたいな話してたからね。
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one pic.
重っ。何これ。ああ、そういうことか。オッケー。むずっ。ちょっとマジでむずいんだけど。引き継ぐ。飛ばすってないわ
どうしよう。なんか疲れたな。2戦でランクに
そういうこと
疲れてしまった。ランク2戦で疲れちゃった。
甘えんな。待って、わかんねえこれ。むずっ。こっちか。わかんない。飛ばすって何？飛ばす。あ、ダメだ。飛ばしちゃダメだよ。何これ？どういうこと？むずいなこれ。なんだこ
配信者が飛ばしていいんすか？
れ。いや、飛ばさないっす。多分柄的にはこんな感じなんだろうけど、 れが
あとうまく線を結びつければ
だよね。
惜しい形になってる気がする。てかほぼ完成してね。もうあと多分角度の問題。
こうじゃない。でもここまでしか動かんから、これがちょっと光りすぎてて見えないんだよね。このパイプの位置がわからん。こっち向けあってするんだよな。角度の問題じゃなくて。こういうこと？あ、まだこっち動くな。
線が一直線に見えるラインが。
こういうことか。どうだこれ。来た来た来た。来た来た来た来た。
This is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among
シンプ
sailors.
ルに喜んでるっていうね。シャメ香りの強いタバコだとか言って。
The initials PC have been crudely
船
burned.
乗りの作品
A
だ。
sailor's work.
OK。じゃあそろそろ特殊能力でも使っちゃいますか。
A sailor's drink. It seemed that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
勝手に終わっちゃったんだけど。あったあったあった、血の海。いや、待ってよ、血の海。待ってよ。
Peter Carey was impaled to the wall
こ
by
れ多
a
分完
whaling
了したら多分
harpoon.
緑色になるでしょ、多分。
This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite
すごいな。
strong.
人つきだぞ、これ多分。
Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer.
確かにね。まあ、知り合いっぽさはあるよね。これ気になる。
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor. JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
Wow.
These abbreviations mean something, but what?
なぜナイフを持っているんだ？ B って何？ B 押してみっか。あ、どういうこと？
その中で結びつくやつがあると思うっていう。
これまだやる必要なくない？これもうやっていいのこれ？
やってもいいし、後からやってもいい。証拠集めてからやってもいいし、まあ一個一個やって整理してもいい。
庭師はいないんですよ。
2つを結びつけて、なんか
Someone was here yesterday. They
結
attempted
果が
to
一
force
つ
the door
出
to
てくる
gain
っていう。
entry. This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. The ship's
これだけハテナマークずっと続いてんだよ。
Hmm.
もう一個。あれだけハテナマーク続いてんだよ。
Hmm.
これだけ進まないんだよな。
Hmm. The ship's logs.
それだけ進まないんだよな。いいのか。東海オンエア面白かったですよね。なんか東海オンエア感がなかなかに出てた。ふう。
Immediately.
操作内で使えることがあるって。何これ、ブーツ盗んだってことこれ。
ブーツ押収してるってことよ。盗んだなんてそんな人聞き悪いこ
盗んでるだろこれ。
と押収してるんですよ。
ちょっとだけ進みました。長年にあたる木こりのリーで暮らした。ここが木こりのリー。お、なんか地図あった。
ダンディ。
ダンディー。ダンディーだけこれ。まさかのダンディーだけですかこれは。ダンディーだけだ。これもう話進めちゃっていいのかなこれ。でも地図、もうちょいいけそうだな、なんか。これ T 押せばいいんだな、これ。犯人の名前言っていいですかじゃねえよ、てめえ。
え？
犯人は分かってるけど。よし。次行こう。これ進まないんだけど。あ。これさ、どうやって進むんだこれ。これ待ち伏せしていいんでしょこれ。
Mr. Holmes?
ちょっとこのおっさんに話せばいいのか。よし。
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you
それ
think?
でホームズだと思われま
I
すか。
think that we are lucky
And why is that?
because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oh, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha. So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
どうするのこれ。
We need to find a good place for an ambush.
待ち伏せに適し
Perhaps
た場所を
behind
見つけましょ
Carey's
う。二人
cabin
の小屋の
near the
裏の
window.
裏で窓がどうちゃらこうちゃらとか言ってたから、多分ここら辺なんだろう。
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
推理空間以降は手がかりのいくつかが重要な推論を構築できることを示しています。操作の進行におい、いいですじゃねえよ、おい。いいですじゃねえんだよ、こっち楽しんでるんだよ、今。犯人来るのか、これ。暗すぎてちょっと上の方見えないんだ。
Shh. Did you hear that?
誰だお前。
There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there.
動けない、動けない。重たい、重たい。よし。
Mr. Holmes, come and see what...
おらおら。てめえ、観念しやがるってんだよ。
All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your
何
name?
か落としちゃったんだろうね。
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't.
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't.
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't. I'm not. It's a terrible mistake.
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector. But please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
こいつ犯人じゃねえだろ、多分。お茶飲もう。よいしょ。大丈夫ですか、おじさん方。Hi,
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. Can I help you?
my name is Holmes.
Good morning, Constable. I would like to speak to the fellow who was arrested at Woodman's Lee last night.
Ah, the young man. He's one.
Thank you.
Yo,
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes. お前これしか言わんやん。ここじゃないの。
These are the suspects' belongings. The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin.
みたいな。
These abbreviations.
あるものが必要。
A handkerchief with the initials JHN. A pocket knife. It was used to force the door. And partner, 1880. From R. Dawson. To my friend, Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
持って帰ったけど。
These
Ah,
are the
no, no,
suspect's belongings.
あ、それでこういうのを使うんだね。うん。OK。このものは多分持ってない。さて行きましょうか。どこですか。絶対こっちじゃないでしょ。とりあえず行ってみるか。俺死体なんちゃら室、死体解剖室みたいなやつですか。もう死体あるやん。決めけんのこれ。いけんよ。なんか世界観すごいねこれ。すごい。
Locked.
Locked. Hi.
Mr. Holmes?
失礼。
Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes, but where did you find it? I did not know. I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh no, I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things
誰
worse.
だ。
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan.
どうも配信中です。よろしくお願いします。
入っちゃった。
The police seized this valuable
Hey,
ring from
メ
you.
ルだ。
Whose is it?
I didn't
So
steal it
they're
from
there.
anyone.
Rank
It has
there.
always belonged to me.
先輩でしょ。待ってやばい。
1、2、3、4。
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago.
数え
You
る
would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner.
7。
なんかもしかして違ったのかこれ。
6勝1敗です。
強いじゃん。
強っ。
やばいよ。もうね、3キル多いわ、今日は。やべえわ。4キルある。もう4キルこれカバーしきれなかったやつだ。
なんだこれ。めちゃくちゃタコついてんじゃん。どうしたのこれ。手の傷気になる。短い袖。あと2つあるってことか。細い首。こうか
今、ソロランク用でやってた、プラチナ、唯一プラチナのやつが3531枚いった。
な。高っ。
ランクいくか。
いや、もう寝ます、俺。
しゃ。
でも今日はちょっと強かったよ、いろいろ。
しゃ。
これ乗せよう。
今日 P 強かったよ。
So, Mr. Nelligan,
P.
who
Oh, you
is
got
the
the shot.
true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
今日上 P 強かったよね。
4キル。
強かったよ。
No, Mr.
4
Nelligan.
キル。
I believe
今
that
日
the
上 P
ring had
2マップとも
belonged
20
to
キル
your
近くだった
father.
よ。
Oh, but how do you know?
上 P 毎回そ
The
れだった。
jacket you are wearing is made of an
I think so, no.
expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan.
カモさん、それ。
Furthermore, the
聞き捨
garment
てなら
is
ないって言われて。
ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else,
GG。
most probably
そして
your
頑張って
father.
ね。
With your
だから
father
さ
gone and
明日
taking
何時
with
から
him
試
the
合開始
family's wealth,
3時
as a
半
little
とか
boy,
か
you
な。
had to find yourself a manual
じゃあ、
job,
ちょうど俺、
and
仕
it
事
was
終わる
most
時ぐらい
probably
だわ。3時
cleaning
半。
fish. You cut your hands
明日早
often
場か。
while working.
そうそうそう
I
そう。
can tell from the scars.
1試合目
I'm
3時半だね。
speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Please let me go. I'm
負けて
innocent.
くれたな。今日のパーティーマジ強い。やべえ。あれでずっと回してるぐらい。
もうサパだった。
大サパだったね。みんなプラチナ3、2ぐらい。同じぐらいの実力だったから。
いやいや、これじゃん。もうめちゃんこむずいんだけど、これ。
ランクいくか。
この4キルなぁ。4キル続いてできたやつ。これもう、判断もう少し早ければ勝ってたかな、普通に。
この3つは繋がんないね。
このバルキリーとヒーがバカすぎた。
なんかいろいろあるけど、これだけなんだ。まずい。
結局10万円どうやってくれんだろうな。
どうだろ
Mr. Holmes?
う。もらえたら嬉しいけど。これどこ行くんだ
At your service, Mr.
どこ行くんですかこれは。どこ行くのこれ。ベーカー街に戻るのこれ。
別場呼ばれたんで行きます今日は。
はい。
ザコドとピエンで行くの？
わかんない。
オーケー。じゃあ、俺も寝るわ。
お仕事頑張って。
おい、お疲れ。
おめえ配信してんだから、ええやん。
一人じゃないよ、それは。
そうそう。
That is not.
じゃあ、
That is
ま
not
た
the.
もし落ちて
That is
暇だ
not
ったら
the
聞
one.
くわ。作り。
That is
お疲れいい。
that is not the. Here it is. Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the
やっぱあい
murder.
つは犯人なのか。
It is time to ask
もう
him.
ねえな。んでどこ行くんだこれ。あ、そうなの。スコットランドヤード行くのかまた。よいしょ。こんにちは。皆さんこんにちは。こんにちはこんにちは。んで。
These are the suspects. These abbreviations mean something, but what?
いや、どうせいいのかわかんねえな、これ。あ、ちょっとよ。なんだ。よいしょ。もう一回話すのかな。わかんねえ。やばい。わかんなくなってきた。話そうぜ。
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes, Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress. Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
そういうことか。よいしょ。よいしょ。続いて。多分あそこの。
1880. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn. This is the crew list. Log notes for June. Log notes for July. Log notes for August. Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR. There are 3 ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will...
これに CPR 乗ってるんだけど、これじゃないのか。で、なんだっけ。ウィギンズ。ウィギンズなら C ユニコーン。ウィギンズって誰ですか？あ、おばちゃんか？もしかして。おばちゃんかね。
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan. I have only to find them.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that...
And who...
The secret...
Ah, you mean young...
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins. Those children are everywhere. They see...
How will you...
There is always a watch beneath our window.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, I need you to track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, as his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy. Just gotta look where the rum and the red lights are.
Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Thank...
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to see you.
As always. What happened?
We have a new suspect, Liam Hurtley. I'm thinking that this case will be resolved very quickly now.
Interest...
Well, the constable that I left...
Do you...
Yes.
Let us...
Ah, yes, and one more thing. Of course. It's in the evidence room, at your disposal. Admit that for once, Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard is a step ahead of you, no?
Breathtaking. These are the suspects. Liam Hurtley's old. The stains are fresh. They can be removed. A pen? Nothing. Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I would like to ask you a few questions.
I've already told the police that I've nothing to say.
Precisely, and considering your situation, it might be wise to speak with someone who is, shall we say, rather more neutral. You are a suspect in a murder case.
I know. Inspector Lestrade told me. It's ridiculous.
Could you at least tell me who you are, and exactly what...
My name is Lee.
Well...
イワシの手。おっと
That's all for now.
多分
These are the suspects.
多分
These are the suspects, but I wonder if these are connected.
これか。
Now we have the proof that Nelligan's papers were indeed here. It seems that they have vanished, however.
よいしょ。走りたいぐらいだけど。なんもないよなと。
Is this your...
I'm not sure. It might be that he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Your husband's private paper?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
Does the name Liam Hurtley mean anything to you?
No, I don't know anyone by that name.
Thank you, madam.
次はどう？次はどうするんだ？ なんで地図
Dundee. Hammerfest. It's a whaling map.
ああ、次はどこに行きゃいいんだ。ジョン・ネリガンと話せばいいんだ。あー、難しい。
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, what exactly were you hoping to find inside Peter Carey's cabin?
I was trying to find some information about my father.
I assume you had another purpose, to retrieve the bond certificates. Am I correct?
Yes. I discovered some time ago that a few of the missing securities had reappeared on the London market. You can imagine my amazement. I spent months trying to find them, and at last I discovered that the original seller had been Captain Peter Carey. These papers, they belong to my family, but I could not find them there.
That's all for now. Well,
I'm not saying another word.